Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by GTN, featuring interviews and events happening around town. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or SoundCloud so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro City government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and with me today, as always, around the big round table, always good to see you, Rosemary Pliger.
So glad to be here. Well, September 2022, that's when the City of Greensboro created the Office of Community Safety, OCS for short. This office focuses on collaboration, cooperation between city leadership, Greensboro Police Department, and the community with the goal of public safety, a safer community for all of us. It consists of the Greensboro Criminal Justice Advisory Commission, GCJAC, the Behavioral Health Response Team, BHRT, as it might be known better, right. Violence Prevention, and Law Enforcement Assistant Diversion, or LEAD. Okay, today, Letitia McNeil, the OCS Manager, and Arthur Durham, OCS Violence Prevention Coordinator, are both here with us. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
All right, let's, Letitia, start with you. Tell us about the Office of Community Safety, about its start and kind of how it's already grown in just these first, 9 months?
Okay, so the Office of Community Safety started in September 2022, and our goal is to help provide a place for alternative responses to calls for service, a place for community collaboration and partnership, and so that we can enhance public safety in our community.
And this is an everybody thing.
This is everybody. Yeah, this is community safety is a community as a whole responsibility. Mm-hmm. We're not relying solely on our public safety entities. We're not relying solely on our law enforcement. We are all hands on deck working to better our community.
And just quickly, if you would give a quick description. We mentioned all these things at the beginning, behavioral response team, violent prevention, LEAD. Talk a little bit about those three things, just briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So our behavioral health response team, or which it's affectionately known as our BHRT team.
I like that.
Is our it's the oldest part of our office, and they are the co-responders for calls for service, for mental health calls for service. They respond with police to mental health calls, and they also provide some follow-up and service coordination for people in the community who need mental health assistance. And then we have our we have our violence prevention, which Arthur Durham is here with me today. It's our violence prevention coordinator, and that piece is our GSO, Peace on Purpose, is the initiative for our violence prevention, and that is going to be the arm that is focused on creating awareness around violence prevention, opportunities for partnership and support from different community-based organizations to be focused on the task of violence prevention, reduction, and intervention and interruption.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least is our Law Enforcement Assistant Diversion program, or as we refer to it as LEADS. That is an opportunity for Greensboro Police Department to actually get involved in diversion of individuals who may have charges that they could receive. Instead of an officer actually charging them with the crime, they have the opportunity to divert them to get services to enhance their quality of life. So it gives them an opportunity as officers to be able to be a part of that diversion and change. And
part of solution, change. And that really has a lot. Addiction is going to be a big part of that one.
Absolutely.
And all this kind of just getting started.
Yeah. Arthur, tell us about the violence prevention part of the Office of Community Safety, or OCS.
Oh, thanks for having me. Letitia, my boss, she alluded to it earlier about the violence prevention wing and the angle that we're trying to take through a collective engagement throughout the city. Bringing about the preventative measures through services, interruption activities, events, things of that nature, things that we can do to just foster a relationship with all the components that we already have that's here in the city. So if we can take that approach and that collaboration and implement the Peace on Purpose strategy,
right,
which is, leave that imprint on the heads and minds of all the individuals who we are targeting, then hopefully we can bring about that reduction. And I'm excited.
Yeah, okay. I love this Peace on Purpose because it is an active thing. Yeah. It's not just don't do something wrong, right? Like stay out of trouble. Like that we were all told growing up, stay out of trouble, don't do that. Right. Stay in the lines, walk in line, be quiet when the teacher says be quiet, don't do drugs, all that kind of stuff. This is actively participating in a peaceful society. So what does that mean to you? And also tell us about this kind of kickoff that's coming up.
Well, Peace on Purpose, myself and Ms. McNeil, we sat there and we were throwing around ideas of how we can leave a lasting imprint on those that we engage with. And to make peace a purpose of an individual, community, in a city, right? That's the grandiose idea. Yeah. So what it means to me is exactly that, because I'm a person who likes to think positive about everything. Am I perfect? Of course not. We all are fallible by nature. But at the same time, we can, try to put our best foot forward. And we, as the adults, the leaders of the society, we have to leave those templates, right? Especially with our youth. And I like to focus specifically on youth. I was an administrator at a school, the Experiential School of Greensboro, where I just, meet these kids every day, hug them by the multitudes. Everywhere I come from, that's how I was raised. Through Philadelphia, I started it in Penn State University at my first internship, and I continued it. So I think we can pull that off. The structure, the philosophy, the model. So Peace on Purpose. Let's go for it.
Yeah. We wanted to be intentional in our discussions about how do we set this initiative off for the city. And one of the things that Arthur and I both kept coming back to was intention. We both talked very heavily about doing things on purpose. And so it just kind of, as we kept saying on purpose, intentional, peace on purpose, and it was like GSO, peace on purpose. We wanted it to be that mission statement. That's what we're going for. Yeah.
And there's an event coming up Friday, June the 2nd. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Friday, June the 2nd at Barber Park Amphitheater from 3 to 7, we are having our GSO Peace on Purpose kickoff. It is also National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Right. And so we felt like that was the perfect opportunity for us in this office to really get behind showing the community, one, bringing awareness of gun violence and not only our community, but nationally, but then also talking about what we as a city are going to be doing and being on purpose about violence reduction and violence prevention in our city. So we are very excited. It's a free event. It's going to be food, fun, games. We're going to have speakers. Lots of community-based organizations are going to be there with literature talking about, what services they offer to the community, as well as the other entities in the Office of Community Safety will also be on hand talking about what they're doing in their programs as well.
Yeah, good chance that you want to know more, you want to get involved, just be there on that Friday.
Definitely.
And it's going to be fun too, it sounds like.
It sounds like it's going to be a good time. Arthur, you're just kind of starting out in this role with the violence prevention. What have you seen working in other cities as far as, preventing violence?
Like I didn't speak about earlier, my background. I was working for the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene out of New York City. Through the Cure Violence model, we became something called the Crisis Management System. Okay. And what I loved about what we did in New York City, we collaborated through all 5 boroughs. We invested in a credible messenger who's an individual who might have had a spotted past, got them to believe in themselves, right, through a rectifying model, like put it in their head like you owe a little bit. Like you created this condition, let's try to, clear up some of the damage. So we provided opportunities, access to some of the things that they would never have had access to, right. Provided the sustainable employment. We trained them to do interruption activities, outreach work and things of that nature. And through that, we built a crisis management system that became a national model. And we cultivated tens of thousands throughout the years I was there. So the strategy of collaboration and one mind, one body within the model, right? Don't deviate from it. Utilize the principles within the model and be on purpose, right? And that means be consistent with who you are as the purveyor of the message, right? Which is very important there. Yeah. So when we bring people in, we want to make sure that Peace per Purpose is the model, is the movement, and it has to become what's internal inside you. So I think we can pull that off here. We started, it's a semblance of it, but
Sure.
like we have leads, we have BHRT. So that's part of the collective endeavor. And myself and Ms. McNeil are going to keep working on refining the things that we need to make it a polished model.
It sounds like a great model.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good thing that we could all do, actually, is
Yeah.
be purposeful about it.
Letitia, where would you like to see this office and the work a year, in 10 years?
So a year from now, I'm going to say a year from now, we will have a collective group of community-based organizations that are focused on doing this work towards violence prevention. We're going to have individuals who are focused on job creation, individuals who are focused on violence interruption, individuals or agencies focused on mentoring, and we'll have a list of services, all of those individual organizations working in partnership together. I think the biggest part of what we want is really that collective coalition of agencies all working to provide those avenues for people to where, hey, well, maybe I don't have the particular, my agency doesn't have this particular skill set or this particular option for something, but Arthur's may have it.
Right.
Let me refer you over to Arthur because I know that they're doing good work over there, and vice versa. So we want to be able to have a community of those types of individuals so that, when we have individuals in our society who are, at the margins and maybe they want to make a change in their life. It's one thing to want to make a change in your life, but if you're not supported and you don't have the resources to be able to do it, that makes it really hard. So incorporating what Arthur has stated that they were doing in New York with the catchment of services to be able to say, you owe this is you have a responsibility to the community to make it better. You may have done some harm. This is your opportunity to restore. So through that, we also recognize that we can't just ask you to do that and not provide you with anything to support you.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like so many times when people reach out for help and they can't get it or they can't find it, it makes the situation worse.
Oh,
it increases
100%.
the frustration. It increases that, well, I'm not even going to try. So it's hugely important. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks for everything you're doing,
Yes.
and we're going to get you back. So,
back in a year.
and looking forward to that. By the way, that GSO Peace on Purpose kickoff once again Friday, June 2nd, Barber Park, 3 to 7. Food, entertainment, lots to learn, lots of ways to engage and to get involved. This is a great way to start that on purpose
That's
part
right. That's
of that.
right.
So we really appreciate it. And if you want to know more about the Office of Community Safety and all the programs that you learned a little about today, greensboro-nc.gov/OCS.
Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And don't forget, you can download Talk City from SoundCloud.
That's our time for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk City. If you like what you hear, please share it with a friend. Be sure to watch GTN, your official source for news and information about the city of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13
AT&T UVerse Channel 99.
and Lumos Channel 31.
GTN also streams live on Roku and the city's website
At greensboro-nc.gov.